Okay, so let us start the class, today's class. So I just wanted to cover one more topic. So I hope the screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
just wanted to cover one more topic. In fact, that has already been covered for MOSFETs, but I thought that I should talk about the same for the bipolar junction transistors also. And that is actually the biasing of the bipolar junction transistors. And we had studied how to bias a MOSFET, I think in class number 25, lecture number 25. Maybe let us check. uh, yeah, so in lecture number 25 we had studied the biasing of MOSFETs, uh, but we haven't spoken yet about the biasing of the bipolar junction transistors. So in fact, the biasing of bipolar junction transistor is done exactly in the same way the biasing of MOSFET is done. Okay. So there is no difference. Same way a BJT can also be biased as a MOSFET is biased. Okay. So for example here, and in fact, you know, in a BJT, if I go back to the previous lecture, we had seen the IV characteristics, okay, collector current versus the collector to emitter voltage, and we had seen with the changing levels of VBE, that is base to emitter voltage, the collector current is changing. So this is true, and the other way or alternative way of this common emitter characteristics would be that you use base current IB instead of base to emitter voltage as a parameter, right? So in the previous picture, we had seen this base to emitter voltage was varying. So VB was taken as a second parameter, but the alternative way for this characteristics would be that you consider the base current instead of the base to emitter voltage, right? Now this BJT, that is bipolar junction transistor, this can be biased by two ways. In fact, MOSFETs can also be biased the same way. One would be you apply a DC battery source at the base terminal between base and emitter. Okay. So that is what we had seen here, right? So biasing is done by, this has to be forward bias. If this transistor has to be in active region, then emitter base junction has to be forward bias. So that forward bias is ensured by this battery source. Now the same can be ensured, that is biasing can be done here by also connecting a current source at the base. Okay. Now this current source, as this IB, that is base current, so this varies, the collector current will also vary. So for example, here the different IV characteristics which you see here are for varying base current values, right? So for example, here the base current is 0 and then the base current is increasing. Okay. So with increasing base current levels, you see the changes in the collector current levels also. Okay. Now one has to again draw the load line the same way we had drawn for the MOSFET. So one has to draw the load line. Okay. Then one has to bias this transistors at the center of the load line, which is my Q point here. Okay. So now this bias point or operating point or Q point, we had commented that the biasing is done to set the collector current on a particular collector to emitter voltage. In MOSFET, we had said that bias point would be to set, the operating point is for setting the drain current at a particular drain to source voltage. So here it is collector current at a particular collector to emitter voltage, right? Now IB, that is the current source, the value of the current source that is required to produce this much collector current and this much collector to emitter voltage. Okay. So that would actually be the biasing current source, right? The value of the current source would depend upon the collector current at Q point that it produces and the collector to emitter voltage at Q point. Now after deciding this Q point, or in fact after biasing this circuit at this Q point, one can think of using this circuit for amplification purpose. Now again, we also have to remember that this is my active region. That is from here onwards is my active region, and this is my saturation region. So saturation region in BJT and active region in BJT. However, in MOSFET, we had seen that these two regions were reversed. That is, saturation region was here in the MOSFET and active was here in the MOSFET, right? So for MOSFET. So MOSFET current had saturated in this region, but BJT's current saturates in this region. That is, maximum collector current flows in the saturation region. That is this region, right? So one has to bias obviously this transistor in this region, and now we are ready to amplify or use this circuit for amplification purpose. Okay. Now the other way to bias the transistor that we had already studied is by connecting a DC battery at the base terminal. Right. So this VBB is the source which actually biases this transistor in forward active mode, let us say. Okay. Now this VBB, the job of this biasing voltage is also to produce some biasing current IB. In fact, RB and VBB, so both these things, that is resistance RB and VBB, these are used to bias this transistor in forward active mode. So this produces some base current IB. Okay. Now if this base current increases, the collector current level also increase. Now one has to set this VBB, that is the biasing voltage, such that it produces, this circuit produces a collector current of this much value and the collector to emitter voltage of this value, right? That is, at the center of the load line, one has to select the Q point where the collector current is this much and the collector to emitter voltage is this much, right? Now these 2 points on the load line, they can also be found in the same way as we had found for the MOSFET. Okay. So these 2 points can be found from this, that is, write the collector to emitter voltage. So what is the collector to emitter voltage over here? That is VCC minus IC times RC. Right? So VCC minus IC times RC. Okay. So one can find out that at this point, that is on x-axis, let us consider IC as 0. So when you consider IC as 0, then VCE becomes VCC. Right? So that is this point you get. So on the x-axis, then you draw the load line and then select the center of the load line, and there you decide the Q point. Okay. Now we had also discussed in MOSFET that the location of the Q point, or the choice of the Q point, so that can be different. In fact, why it is at the center of the load line, so that we had discussed there. So here also let us discuss the same thing. So one cannot think of biasing the BJT or bipolar junction transistor at these 2 points, that is QA and QB. Okay. So let us say that my load line also depends upon the value of this resistance RC. So the load line could be, load line could have this slope, this load line A, or it could have this slope, that is load line B. So it depends upon the value of the collector resistance RC, right? Now if I have this load line A, okay, and if I try to bias at this point QA, right, so I cannot bias it at this point, though this seems to be at the center of this load line, but I cannot bias this transistor at this point because this is very close to VCC, right? This point is very close to VCC. Okay. So the problem with this point being close to VCC is that VCE is close to VCC. So this is VCE here, and if VCE is equal to VCC, okay, so since VCE is very close to VCC, that is collector to emitter voltage is very close to VCC. So if VCE is equal to VCC, then what happens here? That is entire this VCC drops here. So that means nothing drops across this collector resistance. So that means collector current is 0, right? So that tells me that I cannot bias this transistor at this point. Similar to what we had talked about for MOSFET, right? Nothing different. Similarly, I cannot bias this transistor at this point QB, okay? Because this point is very close to this saturation region. So in a BJT, I want to bias this transistor in this active region. And since this QB point, so this is very close to the saturation region. Okay. Now the effect of this would be that the negative swing of the amplified waveform will be clipped off. Similarly, effect of this, that is biasing at QA, Q point, would be that positive positive swing of the amplified waveform can be clipped off, right? So instead of getting full amplified waveform like this, you may get a waveform which would be somewhat like this, right? For point QA. So if you bias at QA operating point, you will see this. And if you bias at QB, so you can see this, right? That is clipping off positive. Here we have clipping of negative swing in the amplified signal for point QB, and clipping of positive half of the signal, amplified signal. So which is because of this Q point is close to VDD. When this is close to VDD, IC is 0, that means transistor is off. No amplification further done by this transistor if it is off. So when it is off, when IC is 0 or VCE is somewhere around VCC, which is at this point QA. So we avoid these 2 points. Okay, so that's why we always try to bias the transistor at the center of the load line. Okay. Now after biasing this transistor, one can use this transistor for amplification purpose. Okay. So that is, one can amplify a small signal. Let us say that small signal is small v small I. So that represents my small signal. So this small signal is superimposed on the DC biasing voltage. This is my small signal which I want to amplify. So this can be superimposed. So this is superimposed on the DC bias, that is battery. Okay. So when I do this, I can amplify this signal. That is, at the output here, I'll get an amplified signal. So for example, here it is being shown over here, the same thing. So here the biasing voltage, that is battery, is not shown here. So let us connect the battery over here. Let's say that this is my VBB. Okay. So let's say that this is my VBB or biasing voltage. And then on the biasing voltage, or in fact, let us not connect this here. Let us assume that this is VBE, that is this voltage is battery. DC battery is connected here and the circuit is biased, and now this circuit can operate if I apply a small signal input, that is VI small v small I, right? So here it is capital I, V capital I. So that means it's a DC bias for biasing this circuit. Now in this bias circuit, one can apply a small signal input voltage, that is superimpose this small signal input voltage on this DC supply. Okay. Now before that, one would like to plot the VTC, that is voltage transfer characteristics of BJT, which is simply the a plot of the output voltage, which is appearing here, VCE, right, which is a plot of V0 versus VI, input voltage, right? So input voltage is over here. So this is my input and this is my output here, right? So I'll write output over here and this is my input. So VTC or voltage transfer characteristic is simply a plot of output voltage versus input voltage. Okay. DC, but this is DC a plot, right? So we are only plotting DC values of output voltage versus input voltage, right? Not AC values. So VTC is plotted Now in this VTC, we identify this active region here, and this is my saturation region, and this is my cutoff region. So in MOSFET, if you remember, this was my saturation region, right? So in MOSFET, this was saturation and this was active. But here, this region, that is transient region, so this is active region, and the rest of the region is saturation region, right? We select again a Q point at the center of the transient region, that is active region here in the BJT. And at this Q point, that is at this biasing point, which has been set by this biasing circuit, we apply AC input voltage, or AC input voltage is superimposed on the DC. Okay. So when you superimpose this AC input, so from the VTC, one can observe the amplification of the output. Right? So amplification at the output of the input voltage. Now this is also inverted. Okay. This waveform is inverted. That is, output is invert of input. So that is, if I am applying input, this input, so at the output you will see an amplified version of the input, an amplified version of the input you will see, okay, at the output. So let us say this is small signal input voltage, and this is the amplified version of this input voltage at the output. So it is inverted. So for high value of the input, you are getting low value. So for high values at the input, you are getting low value at the output. This is low, right? So that is actually the inverter action is happening here also in common emitter BJT circuit, right? So this is actually an inverting amplifier. It is amplifying, but it is also changing the phase of the output. So output and input, so they both are having a phase difference of 180 degree. Yeah, so I think I'm done with this. This is what I wanted to just talk about, so which was missing. For MOSFET it was already covered, but for BJT we hadn't covered. So we had covered it now. So if you have any queries, then please ask.